Question of the Week from the Naked Scientists.
Hello and welcome to Question of the Week. I'm James Titko. Today's question comes in from...
I'm Jeff Frid in Toronto, Canada. Are there any ways now or anticipated in which AI will cause or encourage actual reductions in greenhouse gas emissions and or lessening of environmental degradation? Or is AI all negative on the environmental front? Thank you.
Thanks for sending that in, Jeff. You make a salient point about the environmental impact of AI. While AI is undoubtedly improving medical science and our productivity, the infrastructure behind it consumes vast resources, especially energy, but also water and raw materials, such as rare earths. There's no getting away from the fact we need to find solutions to decarbonise this booming industry. But following my conversations with some scientists here at Cambridge, I found there is room for optimism as to what AI can do to benefit the environment as opposed to harm it. First, I spoke with Renita Bardon, Professor of Sustainable Built Environment and Health. She's developed an algorithm to reveal the heat loss from almost every home in the UK. Trained on satellite images and previous energy audits, the tool is helping identify the homes which could be prioritised to improve their performance.
One of our main motive for the project was to look at how can we decarbonize our built environment, which is one of the energy guzzlers in the biggest sense. But this is not a very easy task. You typically ask a person, how much do you think will your house cost to completely decarbonize? People will have absolutely no idea. And it's not just people, but also people who make homes may not have a correct estimation. That's primarily because we do not have a very correct estimation of total amount of heat loss each building is experiencing during the winter months when we are cranking up our heaters to keep our homes warmer. And so this whole estimation to do it at a large scale, faster, with more accuracy and more information that actually feeds directly into policy, only AI methods can help us. It removes the tediousness, it removes the resource requirement that you would actually require if you have to go and do energy audits for every building in the UK.
Doing this the old-fashioned way, where a professional auditor comes around to inspect properties, awarding them an energy performance certificate based on features like age of the property and the type of insulation in place, would take thousands of assessors, thousands of hours.
I'll give you a real-time picture. If you want to get your house audited to get an EPC rating, typically it'll take you 3 days, even taking out the days you would take to plan it and book a rating and all of that. Here we can do it in a couple of minutes. And we can actually do it by city council by city council. We have generated an interactive map, which is accessible through our website. And you can actually explore if a particular postcode is more liable to lose more heat than the neighboring one. And that helps not just policy making, but also as an individual homeowner, you could make more informed decision.
Renita Bardon there. And that's not all. Aside from attempts to tackle energy concerns, AI is also putting the turbo boosters behind other environmentally conscious initiatives. I next spoke with Professor Bill Sutherland from Cambridge's Department of Zoology. He's the brains behind the online tool Conservation Evidence. Over the past 20 years, an international team have combed through over 1 million research papers looking into the effectiveness of actions to improve the prospects of hundreds of species.
We know from medicine how effective it has been to pull together the evidence and work out what works and what doesn't work. And there's lots of studies showing big differences and greater survival. And that seems to be a really useful approach. And so that would apply to almost any field, but we wanted to do that for conservation. So we look at 3,800 actions or something. So we pulled together the literature. We read 1.3 million paper titles in 17 languages and pulled that literature together. That was obviously with a huge team, an international team of people, and then summarized it. So we can say for those just under 4,000 actions, what's the evidence as to whether they work or not?
The result is a readily understandable ecological encyclopedia. But now, Bill and the team have been leveraging AI to significantly broaden the pool of relevant research, introducing studies that were overlooked in traditional reviews.
The interesting thing is that we repeated a review we did. We did a review of all the possible measures for looking after the Lepidoptera, that's the butterflies and moths. And we repeated that using a large language model for the same set of journals. And it found 97% of the papers, which is very impressive. But the really impressive thing is it found other papers as well, quite a large number of other papers. And whenever people do what's called a systematic review, this is the standard approach in medicine, the standard approach in everything, is that you look at the title, and if the title looks promising, you then look at the abstract, and then you decide whether or not to include it. And there's actually a lot of research papers where there is a test of an action, but it's not mentioned in the title or the abstract. So there's a lot of literature that's missed that large language models find.
Broadening the scope of studies enhances the evidence base for species-saving interventions, thanks to Bill Sutherland. So, Jeff, while environmental concerns around AI's energy appetite absolutely need to be addressed, I hope that's given you an idea as to how scientists are already finding a whole host of applications for using deep learning to look after the planet. Next time on Question of the Week.
Hi, this is John Bondi from Vermont in the U.S. Recently, someone said that there are 400 cell types in the human body. How are these cell types different at the genetic level? Thank you.
Great question, John. If you have any thoughts, why not join in on the forum discussion over on nakedscientist.com/forum. Be sure to drop us a line also if you have a question of your own to chris@thenakedscientists.com. Until next time, from me, James Titko, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Question of the Week is part of the Naked Scientists podcast. Look us up online at nakedscientists.com.